Okay, if I could invite you all, if you have a chance to have gotten your dessert and gotten a cup of coffee, if you can make your way back to your seats. I know it's great to be able to socialize. It's always a great evening of seeing longtime friends, making new friends. And I know we've had some folks who have struggled through traffic and may just be grabbing some dinner as we're talking, and that's okay, because the best thing about an event like this is you can often use those little bits of trivia and filler, such as, does anybody know what the slogan for the state of Missouri is? The Show Me State. Yeah, I got somebody who knows something about Missouri down there, believe it or not. So what famous trail started in Missouri? Come on, somebody, y'all ought to know this. You know your Lewis and Clark history. I heard over there, the Oregon Trail, right. Who used to like to play the Oregon Trail video game in the 90s? There you go, a few of us were out there. Believe it or not, I actually did research on some of this, Dr. Johnson, so we got a whole night of Missouri trivia, if we need it. It comes straight to you from a gentleman named Aubrey Fredericks. Aubrey's a retired educator in the Kent School District, a native Missourian. He went to Central Missouri Teachers College, and he wanted to know if you might know where that is or anything about it. So, yeah, he thought you might, coming from a family of educators. Okay, so I want to make sure that if anybody needs to get something else to eat, a great time to do that kind of stuff is when I'm up here talking. Because once we have these fantastic students and community members and very important Green River College administrators, that you're glued to your seats and your attention is up here. You'll know who those people are in just a few minutes. But if you didn't catch before, again, my name's Josh GERSTMAN. I work here in the foundation, work with an incredible team. We're going to hear from George Frazier, the executive director of the foundation, a little while later. Tonight we're going to get to hear from one of our longtime scholarship donors. But this night really comes back to our students and the impressive lives they lead, the barriers that they're overcoming. We like to say that we're helping remove the barriers that are in the way. But we all know that the students themselves are climbing over those barriers every day, doing impossible things to make their lives better, to make their families' lives better. You all are here to help us level that playing field, make it a little easier for those students, but the real work is happening in here and in here. And so at this time, the first student that I would like to invite up is MADALYN Horn. MADALYN's right over here. So don't do what I did. Don't try to like knee your way up on the stage. Come on all the way over here to the stairs. I don't want to steal her thunder, but I'll tell you a little bit. MADALYN is a recipient of the Auburn Rotary Scholarship. The Auburn Rotary Club, we have several Auburn Rotarians here in the audience. Yeah, Linda and John Holman was right over here a moment ago, George Frazier. I'm a Kent Rotarian, so when we talk about Kent and Auburn, there's a little bit of rivalry. But one of the things that Auburn Rotary does that's really amazing, and I don't know how many years it's been, 31 years of a scholarship program. They do a country and western show down at the Performing Arts Center at Auburn High School. And they have a knack for finding a group who's right on the verge of stardom. So they come here as they're on their way up. And then last night, if you watched those country music, the CMA Awards on TV, in that audience are a bunch of the people who have performed right here in Auburn, Washington. So 2 claims to fame in Auburn, these great country acts. And then over there in our old student union, Nirvana got their start in about 1991. So the diversity of what happens in this community, sometimes it's pretty incredible. All right, I think I've broken the ice for you, MADALYN. So coming back to MADALYN, Auburn Rotary Scholarship recipient, a West Auburn High School grad. She's a mom and a student and a wife and a whole bunch of other great things, and she's going to tell you all about that. So, MADALYN.
Hello, my name is MADALYN Horn, and I'm a business student here at Green River, and I'm an Auburn Rotary Scholarship recipient. First off, I'd like to personally thank all the sponsors here and those who could not make it. I would also like to take the time time to thank everyone here at Green River for everything you do for us each and every day. Without your donations and support, students like me wouldn't be able to further our education or chase our dreams. Whether it was money or even a minute of your time, you are directly helping accomplish that dream. Personally, being awarded with my scholarship was the perfect pick-me-up. To me, it said, "We believe in you and your dreams. Don't give up. You are doing the right thing for your family, so thank you." You must be wondering what my story is and how the Auburn Rotary Scholarship has helped me. To tell you this, we'd have to jump back in time 2 years. I was a full-time cook, a full-time high school student, taking 2 classes as a Running Start student here at Green River, and was trying to be the very best mother I could be to my then 1-year-old son. Despite what everyone was telling me, I thought I could keep my insane schedule up until I hurt my ankle at work. By the time I got home, I couldn't put any weight on my left foot. I didn't know it then, but I had torn my ACL pretty bad. The next day I called into work from my doctor's office and tried to get someone to cover my shift. Long story short, my boss said I had to come in or face termination. 2 hours into my 12-hour shift, I ended up losing balance on my damaged foot and spilled the beans that I had just temped at over 200 degrees on my thigh. Not only did my managers not want to let me seek medical attention, they also had me drive myself to the emergency room. Most of my thigh was covered with second-degree burns. The doctor told me it would be a week until I could return to work. Unfortunately, this wasn't the worst of it. While recovering, I received my hospital bill. My employer denied paying my hospital bill. When I went into work to talk to my boss about it, she blamed me, saying that I should have never came into work that day and should have called in. Luckily, there were cameras to prove that I was at work, and Elle and I ended up paying my bills. 1 week after I was paid, or after they were paid, I turned in my 2 weeks' notice. This very experience has led me to my passion, human resource management. Too many times have I heard comparable stories of workplace abuse. I decided that I wanted to be the one person you could come to for help. I knew I wanted to support people and truly make a difference. I remember being told that I would never graduate high school, my son would suffer, and we would waste away in poverty. As I stand here today, I am a sophomore in college. Oliver is the happiest kid with every need met, and my future has never been brighter. Proving my doubters wrong has made me realize another dream, helping other young parents prove their doubters wrong as well. Being a young parent gives you more reason to work harder, not a reason to give up on your dreams. I'm so happy to say that my life has changed by so much in these last 2 years. Because of the Auburn Rotary Scholarship, I can focus on my studies and my little family. I was even able to volunteer for the King County Free Tax Campaign this year as a tax preparer, and often spend the little free time I have helping classmates with their studies. I also want to express my gratitude to the Muckleshoot Tribal Scholarship for helping my husband. There are no words that could showcase this amazing blessing you have given my family. My only hope is that one day we can do for someone else what you have done for us, not only monetary, but also by donating some of our time. Thank you.
You did great.
Thank you.
My little secret is I told MADALYN that if she didn't get all the words out she was planning to, I would come up here and start peppering her with questions. But she did great. Thank you so much for kicking off our program in a really amazing way. And Michael, I know you must be sitting there a little proud. If you want to have a rebuttal, though, you're welcome to come up here. See, in my family, I always get the last word, so if you can imagine. The next individual I'm going to invite up here is brand new to you all as part of our Green River College community. And, it's interesting kind of looking out in the audience. Back there at table 21, there's a gentleman that we might recognize a little later, and a gentleman over here at table 10. And in the tradition of these folks, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Suzanne Johnson to the stage, and it's our pleasure to introduce you. And those comments a few minutes ago about Missouri is because she's told us that she's a native Missourian. And she's brought that show me spirit to Green River in a variety of ways. And it's just really created a new spirit here at Green River College. So with that, I don't drink the water up here, because if you need some, we grab some clean water. But come on up and welcome to Green River College Foundation Scholarship Banquet.
Thank you, everybody. It is true. I am from Missouri. As far as you know. No, I am. 5 generations, both sides of my family. One half were educators, and the other half were lead miners and farmers. So that's all true. And I've actually met a few Missouri people in this audience tonight, so it's not just me. I'm so glad for all of you to be here tonight. This is one of my favorite days of the year. I was telling the students as I was going around class, the tables, classroom, right? Big classroom. The tables that I expected that when I was shaking their hands tonight, the next time I'll shake their hands will be at graduation. Maybe not this year, it might be the next year, depending on where they were in their education. But I would be seeing them again soon. And they all have assured me that that is going to happen. So I just want to say thank you to Josh. I also want to say special thanks to all of those who are here that serve and work on the foundation. There are many foundation members here this evening. And where is George? Okay. I want to say a special thanks to George Frazier, who is our executive director of the foundation and development here at the college. This is a tremendous evening. There aren't many opportunities when we have a chance to take a pause and reflect and appreciate all which is good and meaningful. And this is one of those evenings. And with us this evening, to celebrate all of these students' lives, are some important people that I want to call out a little bit just for a moment here. We are all partners in the success of this college, and we all play a role, and together we succeed. So bear with me here. I would like to acknowledge in our audience tonight the Mayor of Auburn, Nancy Backus. We have several Board of Trustees members present this evening. We have Trustee Jackie Boschek, Trustee Sharon Navas, and Trustee Linda Cowan. We also have Bill Pelosa, Council Member, City of Auburn. And I know John Holloman is out there also, City Council of Auburn. We also have Jim Barrios, who's a council person in Kent City. Where is Jim? And I've saved 2 additional gentlemen to introduce. I don't know, I'll do it by seniority. Also with us this evening is former president of Green River College, Rich Rutkowski. And last but not least, we have the former interim college president, Scott Morgan. I want to thank both you gentlemen for providing me the opportunity to lead a tremendous institution. I feel very fortunate. This evening's scholarship banquet gives us all the opportunity to remember why we do what we do and how significant a role that we play in many people's lives. The students that are with us this evening are full of tremendous hope and future opportunity. And the scholarships that the college generates, the foundation generates, and even more so, the donors in this room provide, represents the hopes and dreams of thousands of students. I wish to thank all the students here this evening for entrusting Green River College for your education. If it weren't for you, our lives would lack a considerable amount of meaning and value. We are here for you. I also want to extend my special appreciation to the donors tonight. With your generosity, the foundation has been able to serve in the past 5 years over 1,300 students. And it represents $1.95 million of funds. Tremendous. Nearly 30% of our students are first to college in their families. And what that also probably means is that many of them are actually first to complete high school. And these students in this room tonight represent an average grade point number of 3.4. That's a solid B average if you're not sure, okay, in terms of how those numbers work. That's a B, B plus average. And they're doing it, and as I met the students as I was around the room tonight, and those of you who are having the great pleasure of sitting with students at the tables, they're doing it while juggling jobs, families, their parents, they have relationships and other financial responsibilities. For the students here, you represent all which is best and right about our community and Green River College. So let us take the time to pause this evening and reflect on how significant Green River College and the College Foundation is to our community. And let's rejoice in our students' lives. Thank you.
Good evening. Yeah, that's right. Good evening. Come on. I'm George Frazier. I'm the Executive Director of the Green River College Foundation. I want to thank Dr. Johnson for her remarks. And she focused on our recipients, and I'm going to do the same. So scholarship recipients, there are certain expectations that we have for you. Very simple expectations. We expect you every day, bit by bit, to improve yourself, your family, the college, your workplace, your community, and while we're at it, the world. That's all we want. That's it. World peace, challenges on campus, social justice, hunger, cancer, climate change, the common cold, all ended, solved, cured, or improved through your efforts. We would also like it if you would be fantastic parents, outstanding spouses and partners, superb role models, and above all else, please, please, please pay your Social Security taxes. I'm getting up there. And eat your vegetables. Get that done. So, right now you're thinking impossible, or who me, in flaming 9-foot-tall letters. However, it's not impossible. It can be you, and I have proof. Lynn Boyd, who was a previous Springer Family Scholarship recipient, she was a student of faculty member Donnie Hallstone, a 2015 Green River College graduate, 2017 graduate of the University of Washington. Linda Cowan, I'm ready.
Yay, go John!
There you go. She got a degree in biology, and she's my example for you. Heard her speak about a week and a half ago, and her drop the mic moment was her day job as a researcher is working to cure childhood cancer at Seattle Children's. Donnie and the Springers changed Lynn's life, and now Lynn is changing the world. What I ask of you is achievable. Green River College graduates like Lynn are out changing the world every day. It can be you, it will be you. And you are not alone in this work. Look around you. Seriously, at your tables, look around you. Take that moment. Look around at the folks that are sitting with you. This entire room is filled with do-gooders, chock full of do-gooders. Everywhere you turn, there is somebody who's making a difference. They're faculty members, they're staff, they're donors, they're volunteers with the foundation, public officials. Each and every one of them in this room are dedicated to a very simple proposition that they can and will make a difference, student by student, act by act, day by day. So, to ensure that the world is improved, veggies are eaten, I ask you, our amazing recipients, to stand and make a few simple promises to yourself, your classmates, and your community. Recipients, please rise. Come on, guys. Okay, yeah. Here's the deal. I'm going to ask you to repeat after me. We'll do this in a way that makes it easy for you to do so. And since we are making a promise to the community in our world, it needs to be loud so the community in the world can hear you. Okay? Are you ready? Yes. That was it. Okay. No, you're not. Are you ready? Yes. Now, you're definitely more ready now. Okay, here we go. I will overcome the challenges that face me. Until I achieve my goals, and reach my dreams. Okay, next time, even louder. Here we go. Number 2, I promise to improve my community and my profession. Last one, here we go. This one's really loud. I commit to lifelong learning and being the best I can be. Ladies and gentlemen, your recipients. A round of applause. Grab a seat, guys. You know what? All of our recipients, we believe in you. We believe in you. We are here tonight because we care about you and your success. And I am completely and totally confident that you will amaze us with what you will go out and do in our world. Thank you for being as amazing as you are, and thank you all for your attention tonight.
Janie, he's a pretty cool guy, isn't he? Yeah. Can we get one more piece of that pledge? Just follow me. Go Cougs! I know not all of you did that, and
Josh, checks in the mail.
Yeah. So we mentioned this idea about the show me state, and you never want to show up your boss. So Suzanne, you were up here, and George was here, I'm here. But he mentioned that story about Lynn Boyd, and I have to tell you, I read about another Green River alum recently. Rich, do you remember Juan Cotto? Yeah, he's nodding back there. So Juan works at the Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center. He's a communications guy. He helps spread the word about the amazing work that the Hutch is doing. He's also a massive Seahawks fan. And recently, King County Council honored a group of 12 people as being the 12s who helped save the Seahawks from leaving and staying here in Seattle. Juan Cotto, a Green River alum, helped save the Seahawks. That's the power of Green River College. Now over here, sitting at this table, is John Holman, John Hayes Holman. John's dad was Hayes Holman, the superintendent of the Auburn School District, who helped bring Green River Community College to Auburn. Helped bring it to Lee Hill, which was a big strand of trees and fields in the 60s. And people in the community thought, what are you, crazy? Building a college up there on that hill? We're Lynn and Dan Norman, right? Why would you build up there? There wasn't much up here. one of the things that was up here was a family homestead that the Eby family lived on. And we have a few folks today with us who live now in one of the most beautiful retirement complexes, Wesley Homes, on the land of the Eby family. And even more special with us is Jan Norris. And Jan is the latest in the lineage of the Eby family, and she's been able to help connect, well, sometimes I get my words mixed up. You have to apologize.
Yes, we know.
But Jan's come here tonight to help share her answer to say yes. So Jan Norris, everybody, give it up for her.
Thank you, Josh. You know, I went back and reread the emails that we exchanged after last year's banquet. I guess you could say I asked for this. In that email, I shared that I would be interested in hearing scholarship donors' stories, and that I thought it might be interesting to the students as well. It is a planting of the seed that someday students could and should pay it forward, giving someone else that hand up. This has reminded me of the meetings where you go to and you suggest an idea and suddenly you're it. Good evening to all of you who have said yes to students, and to those students who have heard that yes. I am Janet E.B. Norris, proud presenter of the John and Norma Eby Family Scholarships. And I want to talk to you about saying yes and what happens when we do. I hope that many of you took a good look at that invitation you received to tonight's banquet. It is an invitation to say yes to students, isn't it? And it's an invitation to those of us who have said yes. It is a unique opportunity to meet these students and learn what that yes has meant to them. We cannot go away from this evening without being touched by that simple act of saying yes. It may be a simple act, but it's not a simple decision. I spend a lot of time reading and rereading the applications. I also call this evening unique, not because we get to see Josh and hear his jokes and banter, and get a good hug from George, and enjoy a delicious meal to share together. I call it unique because it is not often when we give of our time and money that we get to meet those who received it. It gives all of us who say yes to students an opportunity to meet those students and to further hear their stories. That yes gets a lot more personal now. I want to share some of this history of the yeses that bring me to stand here tonight. My parents, John and Norma Eby and 2-year-old me, moved to Auburn in 1945 so that Dad could become the manager of the Grange Commission and Livestock Company, a livestock sales market that used to be on C Street Southwest. That yes was a beginning. They rented a house up here on Lee Hill, which was a wonderful playground for me and later my brother Leon. They were just a few homes on this hill then, and unpaved roads. When I was about 10 years old, they bought 20 acres just down the road this way, I believe. And that was a big yes for us. But there was a no I must tell you about, because it's humorous. In 1952 or so, when they applied for the loan to build their house, the bank manager told them no, because he was sure nothing was ever going to happen on Lee Hill. It was way too far out of town, and it would not be a good investment for the bank. If he could see Lee Hill now. Yes. On to more yeses. That yes to the 20 acres and eventually a banker who had appreciated the country to build that house set the stage for the yeses that I get to give to Green River Community College students today. That was our family home for 50 years. In about 2004, my brother Leon and I gave the big yes to Wesley Homes to build a retirement facility in what we called our ranch. Long story short, this beautiful retirement facility, there is a beautiful retirement facility there now. I was thrilled with that yes, because rather than a lot of homes crowded on that beautiful 20 acres, Wesley Homes was going to build a wonderful addition to this neighborhood. When we say yes, I think that it sets many things in motion that we have no idea about at the time. When I first started to attend this banquet in about 2002, it did not take long to view the scholarship recipients that we see up there tonight. As the years have gone by, the photo loop has gotten a lot longer, as many more donors are saying yes to many more students. We keep outgrowing the rooms for this event. Isn't that a nice problem to have, Josh? I tend to select recipients that are older, have lived a bit of life, and maybe it has all not been the greatest. I also like to select those who have had to make major changes in their lives. A single mom, raising children, working, going to school, always gets to me. How do they do that? I've had a lot of yeses in my life. I feel that I need to pass those yeses on to others in the form of these scholarships. I do not know how many occupational therapists I've helped along the way. I just know it's been many. They make things better for our bodies and our communities. One student that I recall most was one of the first of the John and Norma Eby Scholarship recipients. She wanted to become an airline pilot. She was already a stewardess, but had the dream to be that pilot. After a crash that took the lives of some of her stewardess friends, she decided she should pursue that dream. She sold everything, including her horse and her house, to go to college and pursue that dream to be the pilot. Who would not want to say yes to that committed lady? My saying yes to her has opened a lot of doors and has brought her to doing much more than piloting a commercial jet. I will always remember another student raising his family, driving a delivery bread truck, and one day that job just went away. He discovered a part of himself he never knew and found great joy in helping others when he entered the physical therapy assistance program. Today he's a very good and happy PT. I have had said yes to a lady who was working her fingers off to become a court reporter. That's not an easy goal. Of course, there have been those who are bettering themselves in the world of computers. This year, it seems to be the IT program. One student that I helped free up a lot of his mental, said that I helped free up a lot of his mental RAM with the scholarship. I appreciated it when he explained to me in his thank you letter what RAM was. I'm helping a family who has been in this country only a year. Also, forestry students, I cannot help it, I love the woods. The magic words from one of them were, and I quote, "Thank you for granting me financial support, and by doing so, encouraging me to keep working hard and achieving my goals," unquote. I have said yes to folks who have dreams and goals and have given everything to achieve them. Some students have been successful. Some, honestly, have fallen short. But how do you really measure success? I think they and I have gained much more than we would have had I said no to them. I met a man with his wife and child that had to flee Iraq to save their lives. That absolutely took my breath away. I cannot imagine coming to a strange country with very little, not knowing the language, the customs, or the weather. He was not able to work in his profession because he did not have the proper credentials, thus had to come to Green River to retrain to get those credentials. He did not just attend classes, he became very involved in student affairs and actually paved the way for other students to be successful at Green River. In his thank you letter, he explained that it was his aspiration to finish his degree and have a rewarding career. He knew that he would also be able to provide for his wife and child, as well as have a full life that he was dreaming about. It was also his hope that I would claim him as one of ours. And yes, Khalid, you are one of ours. In the end, we are here because we know the value of saying yes. It is an act of saying yes and sharing our gifts, and I believe they are gifts. We know the value of helping others, perhaps the way we were helped along our path, or because we were given much in life and feel the responsibility to share. When I help others who have goals and dreams to better their lives, I find the best part of myself and enhance my own life. It is as though I cannot help myself. I love saying yes. That's a warm, fuzzy feeling knowing that I have been a part of the inspiration that has helped a student along their way. It's a good addiction. The notes I have received from many grateful students are a testament to the fact that it is a rewarding thing that the EB Family Scholarships and all of our scholarships do. I can keep saying yes to Green River students because I have made arrangements so that the EB Family Scholarships will continue as long as there are students who need them. I will not always be here, but those yeses will be. So let's all continue saying yes, filling this room to the brim. After all, Josh needs to have a challenge of fitting us all in this, all of us yes-sayers and students into this room for many more years. Thank you. Thank you, Josh. There you go.
Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you, Jan. And thank you, everybody in the audience, for being part of this tonight. A lot of unique dynamics coming to play and coming together there. So along those lines, the next individual I want to ask up here is Adriana Barrera Pachuca. And Adriana came to us early on, actually. She sat where you all were sitting several years ago when her sister was up here speaking as a scholarship recipient. And then as a student and a scholarship recipient herself, we asked her to come to a foundation board meeting to share what that student experience was like. She shared that story and asked, most times the student will speak at a board meeting and then they'll get off to class. She said, "Can I stick around and hear what you guys talk about?" And we were talking that day, and she contributed to the conversation. And Jim Barrios, who's in the back of the room, said, "Hey, we've been talking about trying to get younger people involved in the foundation. She's right there." So with that, I want to invite Adriana to come up here and share a few words.
Good evening. My name is Adriana, and I'm so excited for you all to be here. What a wonderful group to sit around and hear your stories. So let me tell you a quick tidbit about myself. I've been through a lot. I've had to fight for my right to work. I've had to live off a 2-year working permit. I've had no financial aid in any of my lifetime. I am the first one to graduate any sort of college. I actually came when I was 2 years old from Mexico, and I came and I had open heart surgery. I have a single mother. I have an alcoholic father that I never talk to, maybe once a year. My list can go on, just like everyone else's. But I also have a lot of positives. I graduated Green River's LPN program this year, and thanks. And that was thank you to the Lawton and Wilma scholarship that I received from Green River's scholarship program. I work at Auburn Medical Center, and I have stability. I'm able to pay my way through life, and I can also help my community, which is a big thing because I'm debt-free, which is huge, you know. There's no way to live life if you don't have stability, and that's why I'm on the Green River board. I believe that education, in my opinion, is the foundation of life. It gave me the knowledge in my career. It helped me to make good decisions, and it taught me responsibility. And I think that's every young person's thing that they should go through, is to be able to say yes to their education and have a lot of support. And that's why I chose Green River. All the people that I've met here have been so kind. I meet them with a smile, and the best part is that they remember my name. They meet me once, and we're able to make a connection and learn about each other and talk both ways, and I'm able to hear about their stories. Have you ever talked to your teacher and wondered how they became a teacher and why they did it, it's because of the students and the people they meet along the way. And that's why I came to Green River. It's a place that values diversity, education, and its students. And that's amazing. I don't know if you've heard about the Green River Scholarship, but it's amazing. The program and the people that work with it, I've gotten to know so well after being a part of the board. I wish I could go through all the stories and all the people that we've helped along the way, because we're all in the same position. We all have struggles, we all see difficulties, but we can overcome them. There's people out there who believe in you. They don't even know you, but they believe in you, because at the end of the day, we are the community. We are the people, we are the future, and it's a circle of life. I hope that everyone here that received a scholarship, that once you become stable, you come back. And you're able to help a student that was just like you 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, I never thought I'd be standing up here and I'd be able to say, yes, I can help you out. I can give you the resources. I can help you find a way to make your dreams come true. Whether it's gonna be an engineer, a nurse, a teacher, or even, I don't know, there's so many different careers that you could pick and you can choose. And with that, I'd like to honor one of the people that have been here for 25 years and have been a part of the Green River Scholarship Foundation since 2000. She is an amazing person. She reads through all the scholarship recipients, and we trust her to help everyone. When I first met her, she helped me. She laid everything out for me. She told me how to apply for the scholarship, what to expect, and she reached out to me quickly. It was just so nice to have someone and a connection to, and understand that I could trust someone, you know, because when you come to school, you never know if someone's actually there to help you or if they're just there for their job. And I would like to thank Beth Gatsky. Oh, Beth, why don't you come on up here? And while she's walking up here, as well as some of the other people who work on the board, George, Megan, Patsy, Matt, and Monica, because all of these staff are able to help this scholarship foundation come true. I mean, look how big it's gotten, how many scholarship recipients have helped and been able to go out to the community and do amazing things. Beth? Thank you so much, and continue doing everything that you do, whether you're a student or a scholarship donor.
Okay, hold on, Adriana, come up. Stay. The applause is good. We're going to keep that applause going because Adriana is a past scholarship recipient. She has a few of those certificates of her own on her walls, or perhaps lining her portfolio, or, you know, wherever they might be, the safe deposit box, you know, to prove to your kids someday that you were one of these honorees. So we wanted to take this moment to make sure, if you haven't already found your certificate on your table, that this is the time now. Now, the reason that Beth was up here is twofold. For the last, say, 18 years or so, Beth has been one of the driving force behind this scholarship night. And from the moment that you turn in those scholarship applications, coordinating the reading and review of those applications and the award process, and getting you all here tonight, and getting you all seated at a table is no easy task. So in case you're not at the table where your certificate is, make sure you find that certificate there tonight, and if not, at the end of the night, you can have a fun time meeting other people as you search for that certificate. But now would be the time, and everybody who has them, hold them up like this so we can see and give you guys a big hand. All right. Cool.
Sorry, I tried to...
No, that was great. It's really exciting to work with somebody like Adriana on our foundation board, because she asks questions and she keeps us on our toes, and she's willing to do stuff. She keeps telling me, give me something to do. So Adriana, thanks for coming up here and doing something. That was fantastic. So we have two more student speakers before we get to conclude our event, and you might feel the crescendo building. So at this point, I'm going to be a little unfair to Nathan Williams, but I'm going to ask him to come up here. But as he's coming up here, I have a special surprise. And Chris, there's one more video that we'd like to show, and it should speak for itself. But in case it doesn't, we'll explain it. But Nathan, come on up and we'll watch this together.
Good evening. I'm Master Sergeant Scott Barnes. I wish I could be spending the evening with you tonight, but I'm currently deployed to the 332nd Air Expeditionary Wing in Southwest Asia. I've been a full-time student at Green River since 2015, and I have 3 quarters left to complete my bachelor's in aeronautical sciences. I've had to depend on the Green River Foundation every quarter since my first enrollment, and they have come through every time. Last year I was a proud recipient of the Roddle Family Scholarship. They're probably there with you tonight, so I just wanted to tell them thanks again for your donation and continued support. I'm thankful to Josh GERSTMAN for giving me this opportunity to be there while I'm here, so I can tell the Auburn VFW Post 1741 thank you for allowing me to receive their scholarship this year. I appreciate and respect all of you at the Post for the work you do in the Auburn community and continuously at Green River College. Your scholarship means the world to me, and I hope to serve you well. I look forward to meeting you when I return home. That's all for now. Victory and peace in the Middle East.
So I hope you all know that tomorrow is the official holiday, but Saturday is a special day. It's Veterans Day. And obviously, Scott isn't necessarily a veteran at this moment. He's actively serving us. But kind of in this corner of the room, including this young man to my right, are a group of veterans who have served our country. They served our country and then they've returned. They've come to Green River for their education. And they make this community and this college a very special place. So right before Nathan speaks, I just want to recognize again that the Auburn VFW Post 1741, the United States Marine Corps Support Organization, the Sells family for their support of scholarships, the DPHO family. I want to call out Marianne Jacobs, our very own retired faculty member who is a veteran herself, and everybody else who served. Can we give you all and all the veterans in the audience a big round of applause? And with that, I get to introduce Nathan Williams. Nathan is here with his wife, Celine, and what's that young guy's name?
Lucas.
Lucas. Another Lucas in the room tonight. And Nathan has the Sharp Connolly Transfer Scholarship. So Tom and Jane Sharp and their daughter Jo and her husband Mike have endowed a scholarship. And every year or every other year, depending on how the money pans out, we get to award a scholarship to a student who is transferring to a state university in the state of Washington. And they were so impressed with Nathan that they were going to cut a trip short to be here tonight. And on their way back on their trip, unfortunately, they caught one of those nasty bugs that's going around, and they didn't want to make Lucas over there sick. So they're not here with us tonight, but the video is, so we're going to be able to share Nathan's greeting with them. So Nathan Williams.
Thank you. 1 second. Awesome jokes. Awesome jokes, man. Thank you. It helps lighten the evening up because public speaking is not my major. So, but before I get started, I'm wearing a baby holder in that picture. Lucas, my son, is right here, and he was like just a couple months old. And I see some of my friends from the Math Learning Center over there. So that's an awesome resource for everybody who hasn't finished all their calc prereqs, man. Go to the Math Learning Center. It's awesome. So, as you can tell, I'm happy to be back here. Over the summer, I was accepted into the electrical engineering program at UW. And thank you. So I began my pursuit of an electrical engineering degree 2 years ago, which followed up a successful 10-year career in the Army. So first, what I have to do is thank my wife. She has gracefully transitioned to being a breadwinner, a homemaker, and a mother. dubbing. That's loud, huh? This is how I used to do my calculus homework. Yeah. Physics too. So I can't tell you guys how many times I've heard. You guys are probably hearing it now. You know, it's really difficult to get into UW. Engineering is a very difficult major. It's so competitive. I'm a competitive guy, and I want to commend all the recipients here, the students, for your competitive spirit. And it's that spirit that is going to get you through all the hard nights, get you the major that you want. It's going to get you the impactful career that you're looking for. And of course, I have to thank the Green River Foundation, all the donors. Thank all the donors for your generosity, and one day we will be saying yes to students as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for recognizing our achievements, our hard work. Thank you for rewarding that hard work. Personally, I have to thank the Sharp and Connolly family. Tom and Jane Sharp, it was just a pleasure to be interviewed by them, and they just took the time to get to know me, and I want to thank them for valuing not just my hard work as a student, but as a father, a service member, and husband. Thank you.
Nathan, thank you. And the reason, hey, Chris, go back to his picture real quick, if you don't mind. It's not the clearest picture. Peter over here is probably grinding his teeth a little bit that we would put something like that on there. Peter's our video specialist who did all the video work today and more to come. But the reason I found that is because, one, that was Nathan's student ID picture when he was here at Green River, and because he's got a little bit of facial hair in that picture. And I needed to remind myself because I've gotten more than a few questions tonight. Margaret Hanson, you're over there. If your mom was here with you tonight, she always pinches my cheeks. And I thought about that a couple months ago. I'm like, what can I do so that Catherine doesn't pinch my cheeks? I said, maybe if I grow a little something. No, actually, the reason that this growth is here is to support Green River students, believe it or not. So we have a very dynamic vice president of human resources at Green River. His name is Marshall Sampson. And Marshall came into my office and said, Josh, are you in? I'm like, in for what? He goes, we're going to raise money for students. I'm like, of course I'm in. Of course, I forgot to ask the question, what am I in for? He said, all the guys are going to try to, go to No Shave November, but we're going to keep it local. We know this is all about men's health and raising awareness, but we have students on this campus and we want to make them healthy. And we started a program last year, and Deb Casey is in the audience, and she was a prime driver in this, and it was Gators Feeding Gators. And we filled this room with faculty and staff members. And the faculty and staff, the students got free lunch, and the faculty and staff members each donated $10 or more. Some of them donated 20, 30. One came in with a $100 bill and just plunked it down on the table. And that money went into our Gator Pledge account. And what we've done with that money is we've purchased $10 gift cards to the cafeteria over here. So when a student has had a rough day, maybe they've been in a car accident, or God forbid somebody stole their chemistry textbook, which happens, believe it or not. Not really sure what you expect to do with a chemistry textbook after stealing it, but that happens, and a student's having a rough day. Our faculty or staff member walk into one of the offices and they sign out one of those cards and they give it to that student and say, take a breath, get something to eat, it's gonna be okay. And that's the kind of culture we have here at Green River College. And it happened on your watch, Scott Morgan, it happened on Rich Rakowski's watch, and it's happening under Suzanne Johnson, so thank you. So what does that, yeah, thank you. So what does that have to do? This isn't just a Scott Morgan lookalike up here. At the end of the month, those of us in the building who have grown something get to stand on the stage, and whoever can raise the most money gets to get professionally shaved. Just this part. And there's no rule that says outside money can't be part of the deal. So I'm laying down the gauntlet tonight that if you want to help students, make sure that we can help them when they're in need, and you want me to get rid of this, then just contact me and we'll raise a little bit of dough to make that happen. I see Bob Sperrell's already scheming back there, so thanks, Bob. All right, that brings us, I don't think I've missed anybody, right? It brings us to our last student of the night to speak, and it's really fun to bring her up. Her name is EBONEE Heller. EBONEE, come on up. EBONEE, you're not nervous, right? You got this. You got it. EBONEE really epitomizes what a community college student striving for success is. And you'll hear about barriers being removed, challenges overcome, goals set, and adventures undertaken. And with that, I'm going to introduce EBONEE. But hold on, EBONEE. I want to make sure that microphone is perfect for you. Okay.
Okay. This is a surreal moment for me, so bear with me. I'm not a public speaker either, so. Good evening. I'm honored to share my story with you tonight. I first want to express my deep gratitude to the following: the Green River College Foundation and the Rasmussen family, who created the Frank and Jeanne Rasmussen Scholarship, for believing in me and giving me an opportunity, helping me overcome a great financial barrier. Josh GERSTMAN, for inviting me to share my story tonight. Pioneer Human Services, my employer, for an opportunity at a career. Aerospace Joint Apprenticeship Committee, AKA AJAC, for experience and opportunity as an apprentice to graduate as a journeywoman CNC machinist, as a minority woman in a male-predominant industry. Professor Tim Broxholm, or Professor B is what we call him, in the Bachelor's of Applied Science program in Marketing and Entrepreneurship. You have helped me learn so much about myself in this past year. And my Auntie Vicky, for believing in me and supporting me and never giving up. Tonight I want to focus on where I'm going, but I realize you should probably hear about where I came from. To give a little of my history, I was a product of a broken home, already living independently on the streets of Seattle by the age of 12. The need for money, food, and shelter drove me into learning the street trade of hustling and surviving early. Through it all, I made a commitment to myself to stay in school and always seek learning opportunities. I was one of the first students that earned a high school diploma via independent studies through Interagency Academy in Seattle. After several years in the juvenile justice system, treatment programs, and group homes, I started work at Pioneer Industries, a manufacturing division of Pioneer Human Services. But I left to go to college to get my AA in business. I still didn't have the foundation I needed, but I knew that I needed to further my education. After graduation, I landed a good job, but I was let go due to an unfortunate circumstance. And as a result, my life started to unravel, and I found myself resorting to old habits and hanging out with old crowds. In October 2012, I was arrested and ended up in prison. At that moment, I knew I had to make a change. When I was released, I was sent to Helen B. Ratcliffe House, a work release operated by Pioneer Human Services. I learned about a job at Pioneer Industries and was eventually hired at an entry-level position. After several months, I learned about every machine I could get my hands on in all plants. I applied and was accepted into the AJAC apprenticeship program for manufacturing. I'm currently working on a 4-year master machinist journeywoman title while operating CNC machines. But I also wanted to learn more about the business world, so I enrolled in the marketing and entrepreneurship program at Green River College, where I'm currently working on my BAS. I knew I needed to apply myself to something that I loved and challenged me. The combination of the BAS program at Green River and the AJAC apprenticeship pushes me to get closer to my full potential. In my first class, the first quarter of the BAS, with Professor B, we had entrepreneurial leadership. I learned about emotional intelligence. And prior to that, I was completely oblivious to what it was. That includes personal competence, self-awareness and self-management, social awareness and social competency, relationship management, being aware, controlling, and expressing my own emotions, and building healthy interpersonal skills and relationships while being compassionate for others. I learned so much about myself in that first quarter. At the end of that quarter, I asked for feedback from Professor B. I'll never forget what he told me. He said, "You are not what you've been through. And in this program, you have the opportunity to brand yourself." The energy of the program was so rich and the culture was so vibrant, I knew it was a perfect fit for me. Currently, I'm focusing on graduating with my BAS from Green River this spring with the highest grades possible. Cohort 4. Then my goal is to continue to work in aerospace manufacturing for now, learn as much as possible in that industry, finish my apprenticeship, and possibly become a programmer. I plan to continue my research and work on forming my own business, manufacturing my own products, to build myself as an entrepreneur and a business professional. I'll also to continue to work on my freelance marketing jobs, gaining experience while helping other entrepreneurs that I know. What I learn at school, I'm able to apply at work and in life. What I learn at work helps me to understand things in more depth at school. I feel that I have endless opportunities in the future, and currently I'm right where I'm supposed to be with the help of the Green River College Foundation and the Rasmussen family. And with the resources offered at Green River for graduates, after graduation, I will still be a regular utilizing the incubation spaces and other resources. I'm very blessed and elated to have such a great opportunity, and I thank you all who's here and who's helped me along this path to success. And that's Professor B. Can you stand? Thank you, guys.
All right, as we're giving Ebony a big hand, keep those applause coming because I'd like to invite Gerald and MADALYN, Suzanne Johnson, George Frazier, Adriana, please come on up to stage. I want to get a group picture of all our speakers here tonight. And Nathan Williams, come on, bring Lucas up. So you guys, come on up. We're wrapping this evening up, but I just want to see all these smiling faces one more time. Make sure you get right there in front of that screen so we can get a good shot. We've never done this before, Suzanne, so you're starting us on new traditions. So come on, and Jan Norris, of course. How could I forget Jan? But yeah, pass the podium. Come on, right over here. Right over here. And while we're doing this, I mentioned Dr. Deb Casey and the work she's done earlier on getting this program started to help our students. And in the back of the room, Dr. Rebecca Williamson. Just so you know, you've created one of the most outstanding faculty ever at Green River College. So a big hand for our faculty, our staff, and for our speakers tonight. Thank you. We'll see you next year.